Welcome to Traveling the Earth. Here we are at the base of Swayabhunath Temple in Kathmandu. We have just gone to the top and back down, and just wanted to share a brief reflection. So it was interesting going to the top and seeing people circumambulating, making kora around the stupa itself, stopping at shrines, lighting candles, lighting incense, doing various acts of devotion, devotional singing, devotional playing of drums, ringing of bells, chanting. So different forms of puja, of worship. It was very interesting to see the living religiosity of Hindus and Buddhists and Hindu-Buddhist syncretists that all consider this mount to be very holy and the site to be very sacred. But it's also interesting to contrast when you, if you study different expressions of Buddha Dharma or Buddha Dhamma, however you might say it, whether you're influenced by the Pali or the Sanskritic. But it's very interesting that to see the expressions of puja and worship versus the hard work of ethical and energetic purification and refinement that you see, say, within the Shan, the Zen tradition, the practitioners of Zazen, within the Vipassana tradition of the Forest School of Thailand, the various Vipassana schools of Myanmar, and then how they've influenced in Cambodia and in Sri Lanka, in various areas. And now Vipassana is very big throughout India, throughout South Asia, and there are Vipassana centers throughout the world influenced by U Ba Khin and S.N. Goenka, as well as Mahasi Sayadaw. And so you see that this difficult work of refining oneself ethically and purifying one's mind and purifying one's body is quite different from lighting candles and incense and making rounds, going around something with a state of devotion. Now, some people might go around a stupa, remembering, say, the words of Buddha about ethical and energetic refinement and purification, or going around observing their body sensations, or observing their breath, or chanting mantras or whatever, doing various kinds of spiritual work. So this is, just practicing mindfulness. So this is all very interesting, but to me, it's fascinating to see the difference between the two, because, I come from a tradition where puja, it's very foreign to me. And, like I grew up in an evangelical background for the most part. And so it's like any forms of idolatry, statuary, images, like the church I grew up in didn't even have a cross within it. So it's like very much iconoclastic in these ways. We didn't light candles, we didn't light incense, we didn't leave flower or fruit offerings. So it's like the rituals were very bare basics, like breaking of bread instead of mass, but we weren't eating the bread and the grape juice. We drank grape juice. We were a non-alcoholic tradition. And so it wasn't literally transforming, it was remembering what Jesus had done for all of humanity. And that was the tradition I grew up in, and in baptism and marriage, but we didn't have confirmation. We didn't have a lot of rituals. So it's very interesting to me to see people who are heavily ritualized, and then kind of like, I've got a bit of ritualistic practice within, like systematic ritual practice of prayer, almost like a yoga, very similar to a hatha yoga practice. And so it's just very interesting to me to see these kinds of devotion and try to get my mind wrapped around the concept of what worship is. What is devotion? Where's the line between respect, honor, and like seeking truth and full-on idolatry. So it's interesting to try to get my mind wrapped around it. I've been studying religion for many years, and I don't really think that I have a way of expressing what worship really means at this point. I can say what drawing near means to me. I can say what devotion means to me. But a lot of what we assume is true about a word and a practice such as worship is not necessarily the reality of it. So this is something to contemplate and consider more. If you have insights or ideas to understand these things, please do share. It's like, because I'm really seeking to have an understanding of human religiosity in a comparative sense, to better understand who I am, who we are within the fabric of living humanity, within the fabric of living human spirituality and religiosity, and cutting through illusion and delusion and seeing things as they really are in order to be transformed by the truth. So anyway, until next time.